What's up, everyone? It's Henrik, your foolish crypto friend. And in today's episode, Cronodes, did they just get mini-rugged? And what even is a mini-rug? I was looking into Cronodes as a potential investment for the channel when all of a sudden I started seeing buzz about a possible rugging and that people's rewards had been pulled out of their accounts. I decided this warranted a closer look, so this video will give you all the facts as well as my opinion on the project. So buckle up because it's going to be a ride.
As always, this isn't financial advice. I'm just another crypto fool on the internet, and following the methods in this video could lead to losses. In other words, do your own research and make your own decisions on what's best for you.
Let's start with a little background on the project. Cronodes is one of the many crypto node projects that have been popping up like mushrooms lately. With most of these projects, the concept is fairly simple. You buy some of the project's tokens, which in this case are conveniently called Cronodes. These tokens are a bit of a pain to get your hands on, but that's a completely different topic. Once you have purchased your tokens, you turn around and you give them right back to the project as an investment. In return for that, you get what they like to call a node, which is essentially just a placeholder for how many tokens you poured into the project. You then get paid rewards based on how many tokens you placed into the investment. Think of it as a bank account that's paying you interest, with one very important distinction. The funds you put in are swallowed up immediately and will never be returned to you. Instead, you get rewarded handsomely with rewards, which are paid out in Cronodes tokens. Another really important difference between a crypto node and a bank account is that the crypto node relies on a continuous influx of new investors in order for the project to be able to pay out the promised rewards. We call this Ponzi-nomics these days. And yes, that means exactly what you think it means. But none of that is unique to Cronodes. Pretty much all of the crypto projects out there that promise insane returns work in this way. So no black marks on Cronodes for this. Well, other than the same Ponzi-nomic marks that all of these projects get. When you invest in a project like Cronodes, you get a dashboard where you can see how many nodes you have and how big they have grown to be based on how many of your rewards you have poured back into the project. You can also see how many rewards you have pending at any given time. What I'm showing you here is my dashboard. You can see that I have a little crypto fool node down here and that this node earns rewards in the amount of half a Cronode token per day. The dashboard from Cronodes is one of the simplest ones I've seen out there, but I'm not going to knock them for that. Unlike most of the other node projects, Cronodes actually does not let you compound your rewards back into your node. You simply get to cash it out. That's it. In a lot of the other node projects, people are fastidious about going in and claiming their rewards every single day. They do this because they get to compound them back into the project and then build their pot even larger, which means more rewards. So they're in there pretty much every day adding to their pot. But because of the way that Cronodes is set up, that's not really necessary because you don't get more because you claim more often. Your rewards are what they are, and they're paid out to you per day. You can pull them out of the project anytime you want to, every day, every month, whatever you want. So what does all this have to do with Cronodes possibly rugging their investors? Well, quite a bit actually. While some investors live on their computer and push the reward button more or less constantly, others are happy to do this just once in a while. Because of the lack of compounding, there doesn't seem to be a great rush to push your rewards button. So why not just leave your rewards in there and then whenever you get around to it, go push the little reward button. By only claiming your rewards once in a while, you even save on gas fees. So that's just another reason to not being in there and claiming your rewards every single day. And this is actually going to prove important to the story of what happened with Cronodes. It looks like there were many different things that led up to what we can call the incident, and we'll look closer at those a little bit later. But at its core, Cronodes had reached the point that most of these crypto node projects reach at some point, the point where they need to reduce the amount of rewards they pay out. It's great to start a project and tell everyone that you'll be paying out huge percentages in yield every single day, but basic math tells us that that simply isn't sustainable. Sooner or later, the amount of people taking rewards out of the project comes at odds with the amount of people entering into the project, and the project faces potential insolvency. At that point, the most obvious solution is to reduce the rewards. This isn't new or specific to Cronodes. It happens in pretty much all of the crypto node projects. It's even expected by all but the most novice investors. A couple of weeks ago, Cronodes was facing this very issue and decided to plan for a reduction in rewards. These decisions are never popular, but sometimes they have to be made. Usually when reductions in rewards are coming, investors are notified, and often there is a change in the system that requires them to either compound their outstanding rewards or cash them out in preparation for the rewards change. This isn't an ideal practice, but it's a somewhat accepted practice in the crypto node space. On March 4th, Cronodes announced the following: that rewards reductions were going to be coming on March 11th, that reductions would be gradual down towards a goal of 0.5 Cronodes per day in rewards, and that the first reduction would be a cut of 0.2 Cronodes. Fine, I'm an investor. At this point, I'm not super happy, but I also know that it's a necessary evil and that the long-term success of the project is more important for my earnings than short-term yield. So, okay, now we're all set for the rewards reduction. Everyone knows when it's coming and how much it will be. Certainty is always good, especially in the extremely uncertain world of crypto investing. But then, on March 11th, the previously communicated date of the rewards cuts, an announcement was posted regarding the lead developer of the project not being available and that the rewards cut would be postponed until a still undetermined future date. Uh-oh. That can't be good. You never want an announcement like that right when a big change is about to happen. The announcement also included the following wording. Good thing is, you still get your full Cronodes until it's done on another day. Hope you all understand. It, of course, being the rewards cut. So now the rewards cut is off and everyone is breathing a sigh of relief, or maybe not. I don't know what people were feeling like. The price of Cronodes had been taking a massive dive since the announcement of the cuts, so I'm guessing most people were on the anxious side. The following day, another announcement showed up. This time, it was about the lead developer stepping down from the project completely. This is never good news for any project, but when it happens during what was supposed to be a major change weekend, it is devastating. But in the announcement, Cronodes assured everyone that a new and strong development team had already been put into place. That then takes us to Sunday, March 13th, where another announcement showed up. This time, it was to inform everyone that the rewards cut had already happened. Instead of announcing a new date for the cut, the announcement stated that the cut had already been put into place and that rather than the promised gradual reduction, the rewards had been cut immediately all the way down to the ultimate goal of 0.5 Cronodes per day. Now, I think this caught a lot of people off guard. In CryptoNode projects, the only thing you have to hang your investment on is your trust in the project founders. This is why announcements on Discords are so vital for a project's success. They're a lifeline to what's happening and what will be happening. So when changes all of a sudden happen in a way that directly contradicts what had previously been communicated, the trust tends to take a hit. But this is also crypto, and people can accept a lot in the name of the project's survival, which really means people can accept a lot in the hope of getting a return on their investment someday. So the surprise cut was not what was detrimental to the project, at least not on its own. So what was the big thing that happened? The thing that caused people to start talking about a possible mini rug? As I mentioned earlier, when changes like these are made, investors are usually asked to compound or cash out their rewards, and the system is often taken down. This is done so people can secure any pending rewards they may have before changes are made. Remember how we talked about that a lot of people tend to just leave their rewards in their dashboard for longer periods of time? When the rewards cut was implemented, it took effect retroactively on the pending rewards people had sitting in their dashboards, cutting their available rewards in half. Investors literally watched their rewards numbers go down in front of their eyes. If you had a lot of pending rewards, this could be a sizable loss. Now, when something like that happens, people tend to get agitated, and words like stealing, rug pull, and crooks start to fly around. I can guarantee you that I would not have been a happy camper either if I had seen my accumulated rewards disappear out of my account. Now, eventually, Cronodes came back with yet another announcement to explain what had happened. In what I assume was a somewhat chaotic situation of dealing with a new dev team, which may or may not actually have started to work on the project yet, the project owner accidentally kicked off some scripts that essentially implemented the rewards cut. To make things even worse, this happened just a few minutes after the project owner had assured everyone that rewards had not been cut yet. The announcement was fairly lengthy, and there was a real feeling of, I messed up and I apologize in the announcement. Here are snippets from what was posted. And remember, this is the owner of the entire project speaking. 5 minutes later, I was running through the scripts to reduce rewards and initialized it when I wasn't meaning to do so. I knew immediately that I messed up. He also said, the best thing I could have done is made an announcement about me about to cut rewards. Now, normally this is what I would do. However, as mentioned earlier, I initialized the script when not meaning to. After it was sent, there was no going back. Now, I applaud anyone who is willing to stand up and say, my bad, I messed up. That shows a lot of character. At the same time, though, I have a bit of an issue with the last statement. In the computer world, there is always a way back. At least there should be in any decent project. That's like computing 101. I don't understand how it wasn't possible to just immediately pay people their rewards back. So where does all this leave us and Cronodes? Did they do a mini rug? Well, personally, I don't think so. I believe the narrative put forward in the announcements. I sense real remorse and I'm empathetic. Anyone who has ever done a major rollout of any kind knows the stress, and to lose pretty much the entire dev team right before the rollout is just completely devastating. Now, going back in the announcements though, there have been other clues towards this project maybe not being the most well-run project technically. But this is also the CryptoNode space. People are literally writing the scripts as their projects develop. and it takes a lot to create and develop a node project. Mistakes are bound to happen, and Cronodes are not the only ones to experience this. But going back over the announcements, I just don't get a warm and fuzzy feeling about how this project is run overall. Also, the project isn't doxed or KYC. There's an entry in their white paper about why they're not KYC, but to me, that's a big deal. So, with all of that said, what is my overall stance on Cronodes right now? Well, you might actually be surprised to hear that I'm bullish on the project. I think it's been beaten down severely with the rewards cut and the way everything happened. And assuming that the project survives, and that's always a huge if when it comes to crypto node projects, this could be a great time to buy in. In fact, I bought into the project immediately after putting this video together. Of course, as always, this is just my opinion. I'm not suggesting or advising that you buy in. That part is completely up to you. Another thing I should mention was when I was buying into this project, I found it extremely complicated and frustrating to finally get to the point where I had Cronodes tokens. There are a huge amount of steps that you have to go through, and they aren't very well defined, especially if you live in the US. But what do you think about the way things went down? And did you lose any rewards? If so, please share your story down below in the comments. I would love to hear about it. That's the end of today's video, but if you're up for another awesome crypto video, I have one coming up for you right here. Thank you for watching, have a great day, and may the crypto odds be ever in your favor. Bye-bye.